guys, today I'll be showing you how I take this dress that was super long and I cut it, and today I just wanted to try out using a twin needle. So what I'm going to do is just take this dress and hem it up, and here's a couple different twin needles that I have personally. I have a 9011, an 8011, and this little one that came with my machine, I believe it's a 211. So as you can see, it comes in a bunch of different sizes. This one that came with my machine is super small. The needles are super close together and it would be perfect for like pin tucks or adding decorative designs to your fabric. As you can see, it's much smaller. So you just choose which one you want to use for your project. I'm personally going to be using the 9011 today, the biggest one I have. Another thing you may notice about this needle is that it's going to go into your machine just like a regular needle, but it has 2 needles at the bottom. Since you have 2 needles, you're going to need 2 top threads, so I'm just choosing this blue color. I'm using a bobbin for one and my roll for the other. And then you're going to need your regular bobbin thread. My machine came with an attachment to add a second roll, but you can do different things I've seen in different videos to add your second roll. You also need your tool that changes your needle for your machine. And as you can see, I put my needle into my machine. Now what you do is just thread your machine like normal for the first roll. When I get to the bottom, what I'm going to do is go through the left needle first. And of course you have to do this by hand because your automatic won't work for this. Then I'm going to put that little attachment on my bobbin holder, just like so, and put my other thread onto it. Now all you do is thread your needle again like normal. And you thread your needle. Some people say don't go through that last little hook with your second thread, but I went ahead and did it. And now I'm using a test piece of fabric to see if my tension is correct. So I just sewed a little bit to see if it's going to work out or if I have to adjust my tension. So looking at it, it looks actually really good. The tension worked out just fine. And as you can see on the back, it does this little zigzag, and that's what allows it to stretch. So here's my settings I used. I used a 3.0 stitch length. My tension is at 4, and I'm using a regular straight stitch. Now I'm just going to hem up my dress about 1 inch, and we need to sew along the top of the dress. So from the right side, not the back like normal. So make sure you pin that really good so that your fabric don't move around on you. Also, I noticed after sewing this for the first time, I would recommend using a walking foot if you have really stretchy fabric, because as you can see from the end product, my stitches is going to be a little wobbly, and that's just because I kept having to pull and adjust the fabric so much. So I think using a walking foot will really help have that straight, perfect edge. Another tricky thing is making sure that you catch your fabric on the bottom. So what I would also recommend is making sure you hem up a little bit more than what you actually need, and you can just trim it off later. So just continue all the way around, going slow and steady, and try to make it as straight as possible. So for my first time, you can definitely see that I need a lot more practice. As I said, my fabric moved around on me, my stitches are wobbly, but the result is really nice, and I love that it's finished off on the top. So I just need a little bit more practice with this, and I really think that a walking foot will really help get those straight stitches. And as you can see, it stretches really nice. With the fabric I cut off the bottom of my dress, I wanted to make into something for the baby. So I'm going to use this pattern right here, which I'll link below. And always whenever I cut out a pattern, I always do it normal to where I have all the sizes, and then I'll take a piece of paper and I'll trace the actual size I need so that I don't have to keep on reprinting the pattern over and over again. So that's what you see me doing here. I'm just tracing out the pattern pieces that I need. Once I have my pattern pieces all cut out and ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out my fabric. As you can see, I started off using this gray fabric for my waistband and cuffs, but later on you'll see why I changed it. So I cut out all my pieces, so I have a back piece, a front piece, 2 cuffs, and a waistband piece. The first thing that I said to do was put the front and back right sides touching and sew down the sides and the crotch. So that's what I'm doing here with my serger. But remember, if you don't have a serger, you can always use a zigzag stitch on your machine. Now it was time to sew the waistband right sides touching. And then you just fold it up onto itself, wrong sides touching. And then the directions said to quarter it off with pins, so find the 2 sides and the front and back. Quarter off the bloomers as well, so that you can evenly sew the waistband to the shorts. This is where I realized that the waistband was not going to stretch enough for the stretch of the shorts, so I went ahead and cut out the same material for the waistband and the 2 cuffs. So now that I have these pieces cut out, I went ahead and did the same thing, sewed it right sides together, folded it up, and quartered it off. With the shorts wrong side out, I put the waistband inside and I matched up the pins on the 2 sides and the front and back. And then you just serge the edge all the way around, making sure to pull that waistband to match up with the shorts. So you just stretch it as you go. Doing the leg cuffs is basically the same thing as doing the waistband, so you just put it right sides touching and sew along that seam. Fold it up and quarter it off. Put it inside your shorts just like the waistband and pin it evenly to the bottom of the shorts. I'm taking off the arm on my serger just to make it easier to sew around this little leg, but you can do it without it too. Now you do exactly the same thing you did with the waistband. You just serge along the edge or zigzag stitch, pulling as you go. And once that's done, you repeat the same exact thing to the other leg and your little shorts are done. These came together so quickly and it was so easy to make, and it will be perfect for cloth diapers for that cute little fluff butt. I also went ahead and made a matching hat. I already have a tutorial on this, which I'll link on the screen and down below. If you guys like this tutorial, then please give it a big thumbs up. And if you like my channel, then please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.